Anytime now, game. Come on, you can do it. There it is. I know, right? Hey everybody, welcome to Digsborg Craziness Roadwarden. Just playing off the fact that it's usually cyborg craziness with Bionic Babe. But today is her boyfriend's birthday, so she was unable to stream today, and I wish her not girlfriend, maybe, I don't know, her boyfriend or significant other a happy birthday. We'll continue on with some digs, which is, you know, it's me. Hey guys, you probably heard of me before. I'm recovering from being a little bit sick yesterday, so pardon me if I'm a little raspy. But I wanted to play this game because it's one of my favorite ones. I play it on my Steam Deck a lot. There's a lot of reading to it, which is probably not the best idea for me to start streaming it when I can't really talk that well. But this game is called Roadwarden. It has a lot of Witcher vibes. The world's in a weird place, hiding behind religions and stuff, and a lot of bad stuff's going on, but we're going to discover that together. I'd like to see all of you out there. Night Owl, always a pleasure. Grimos, the ever quotable cop. Astral Viper, good to see you. DeBurger, Kai, Samurai, Watcher of the Bell, Sidecorn, when your armor is shit, you use advantage. Nice. Well, we're gonna give this one a go. I played it quite a bit myself. It didn't cloud sync, so we're gonna start new. But we're gonna try to read this together when my throat gives out. But this is mostly a text-based adventure, kind of in a world where you're going to explore, and you're known as the Roadwarden. So we're just going to read through it. We'll kind of get a pickup. I'll answer questions I can. I don't want to really spoil anything because it is kind of a treat. So let's start. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and if possible, get rid of beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one. And it pays well. If you hit I still have my doubts, it kicks you right back to the beginning. If you say I leave the safety of the city walls, you go in. So there are a couple different modes. Casual just lets you do whatever you want. It's very forgiving. The game's pretty, like it says, it's very casual. The reason I play casual on my own is because I want to experience everything the game offers, and with time limits you kind of like, if you dilly-dally in side quests and doing other things and figuring it out, you might run out of time. So for this we're going to go casual, unless chat says otherwise. We can do standard for those familiar with RPGs. It's 40-day limit, but we focus more on what we're aiming for. And restrictive is like nighttime, like every time you sleep there's always something bad that can happen. You can, like, your hygiene drops, or your horse gets sick, or this or that. So I'm up for pretty much anything. Casual is like enjoy the world, but it's definitely not like a great representation of like challenges you'll feel, right? Standard is pretty much there, and since we're probably going to stream it only like this time, and maybe if it's enjoyable for everybody we can continue on in futures, but seems like everyone's okay with casual. We'll hit casual. Focus on the story. Your dog leaves for your ex. Don't do that. You show up. Essentially, here's the interface. Like I said, it's very text heavy, but it's really well written. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You were supposed to meet a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sound of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins or peddlers, but not beast folk nor trolls, and night is near. Palfrey breathes heavy. It had a long day. So we get options, and each of these options can lead to different outcomes. I'll probably try to leave it up to chat to see what's more interesting to them, but I could look for another shelter. I need to look around cautiously. I can dismount and sneak to the gate and leaving my horse out, or I get off my horse and enter the camp briskly as if I'm running in. We're gonna go with 2. We got 2. Cautious is best. I got 2 people saying cautious, 1 people saying sneaky breaky. We're gonna go cautiously into the place. Considering the noise, you doubt anyone would notice the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grass barely covers the arid soil of this valley, but you're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods. which gets denser as they climb up the hill. At best, the trail is a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. While I'm here, could look for another shelter. I could dismount. Actually, we already did sneaky peeky. We're gonna sneak up. So here's like your heart. Your vitality is how much health you got. If you get hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be weaker. The weaker the chances you'll die in combat. So this is a big one. You want to keep at least 3-4. 3-4 seems to be where it's going to want to stay most of the game, in my opinion, but you can get it higher, and lower will always happen. But your heavy boots hit the ground and the pain of a long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bring your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. You approach the gate slowly. And see, this is kind of how exploration happens. The map on the left opens up more as you're doing it. Some cities will have multiple sections. You'll check the sides, outside, and towers, all that stuff. It's kind of like revealing a story. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space, the fire pit is cold. 2 people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice a quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. Since we already agreed to go in, we're going to go in. So I'm not going to look for another shelter. They don't look like much of a threat. We're going in, for sure. I've got you, Astral. It takes him a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is a mess. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. I'll take a look at the other person. Just like you, she wears a gebsen. But hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven as she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad sent here half a year ago, these 2 surely look the part. Oh, there should be more of them. 8, you believe. Should I speak first? Or should they speak first? Or should I ask them straight about their lieutenant? See how much we want to do. 1, we're going to just let them speak. They say... Oh, the man says, it's nice to see an unharmed traveler in this godforsaken shithole. Makes me just a teeny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong yet timid. You'll be staying the night with us, I guess. We're shoulders, he and I, as the armored woman. For a moment switches from half asleep to relaxed. We'll do our best to keep the camp safe, but if you were to take first watch, it would be a huge help. Travelers ought to help each other, wouldn't you say? You think for a moment to fully rest you need a good sleep. I am in pretty good shape, so I feel like I should take the first watch and I can watch them. Or I can try to be a little bit greedy on it and force myself to sleep. It's a good move. I'm all with you guys on that one. I think I will take the first watch. I feel like that's the move. You show up, you better offer something for your time. Good call, everybody. Fantastic. She rubs her hands together. I don't remember the last time I had more than half a night's sleep. Hours before midnight should be the calmest. Just wake us up if anything happens. The man flashes you with a wide smile. It's easy to wake us up. Just yell. He drinks from his mug. Now I will ask about their lieutenant. So here's where the game gets fun. You get to decide what kind of person you want to be. You could be friendly. You could be playful. You can be distant, intimidating, or vulnerable. And these options will be almost all of your main interactions with people. And this will change who you're interacting with and how they react with you. Whenever you meet people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of the attitudes. So you could be a friendly guy. You can be playful or a jokester to try to lighten up the mood. You can just be very direct and calm and distant and make sure that they know it's business. Intimidating, which means you're trying to make sure you are either an authority or someone they need to worry about. Or vulnerable, which means you open up to your hopes and fears. And there is a path, like in redemption type of thing. So you can just be like, you know, that trail was tough. I'm really tired. I'm worried about things, etc. We be playful, friendly, and playful. We got friendly and playful. These are solid ones. I did one of these. I'm not going to reveal the way I played through because this is our adventure now. We're a giant schizo mind where we are going to be we're gonna be a hive mind of brains. Play your friends for like the idea of protects being weird, nice. All right, we'll be playful. I didn't do playful. Authoritative, maybe down the line we'll be intended. These two seem a little bit too happy for me to be going, I demand sleep or whatever. So we're gonna go with playful. So here's the other thing. You get to actually see what he says. So it's not like you're blind jumping. So if this one's like, open to meet your lieutenant. Can we talk for a bit? I'm sure you're busy. If you could just instrument to your lieutenant. I'm looking for your lieutenant, being distant. Intimidating. I'd rather speak with someone who's not going to waste my time. You're kind of an asshole. Vulnerable. I had a long journey. I need to have a word with your lieutenant. Just more open about what you're going through. So 1 or 2, 3 or 4. Now that you guys know what the answers are, what would you like to do? Hovering over 2. Hovering 2. Watch, you did it, Watcher. We're gonna go 2. The armored soldier spares you a polite smile. Next time, better schedule a meeting. This place gets really crowded these days. She stands up, pays a little attention to the sword at her side. I figured you aren't here on a walk. Let's say it's me you needed to speak with. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? Or are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in his shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece all by yourself. Better bring your beast in here, adds the lieutenant, in quotes. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. I can shake her head and say I'm, and I get to name myself. Or I go, it may be a trap. I gesture her to stop, pretending to be embarrassed. I should wash myself first, but you can call me the Deaf Dad. Should I be just nice, or should I be very, very, I guess, full of anxiety? All right, we'll go with 1. What are we going to name our person? What are we going to name him? Who is I'm Boner Fart? Oh crap, I accidentally pressed enter. I'm Boner F. Crap, what is my name? Homage to Neff. I would have, but I accidentally just hit enter. Snom Boner F. It's French, don't worry about it. Her grasp is confident, the shake is a slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. We don't want to smell like dung. There's one issue. The soldier in his shirt also rises in his feet. We got no tent to spare. You have to use a blanket or something. And no problem. I enjoy observing the stars, or I should get used to sleeping on the ground anyways. We are Bonerf. It's Bonif? Nerf? Bonnerf? My name is Bonnerf. Good to meet you. Let's see. I enjoy observing the stars. We said we were silly, so let's go with 1. We're going to be optimistic, yes. You walk through the gate, your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get it in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from a conquest in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you would too be lost. It's my own companion here. I want it to feel at ease, or I don't care how it feels, but I need it to be strong if I want to travel. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it's my only companion here. We're not gonna be shitting on the horse. I guess if you're like full dead ass, like I don't have any feelings for this tool, maybe. We're gonna go on with 1. Hey, McPop9, thank you for subscribing with Prime Gaming. Welcome. First time. Damn, following us 16 hours ago. Hey, welcome to WPL 76. We love animals here. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of his neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead the humans to their doom, but you know that horses need companionship. I'm gonna hit save really quick. You know the horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it into the camp. You end up next to a fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief, and you take a couple of minutes to examine its back just in case. While the riding equipment is not heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You look You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. All right, now we get to choose what kind of heyo. Now we get to Bonef is a what's friend, yes. Now we get to decide what kind of person you want to be. You haven't brought that many things. You lost some of the sex while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions, essential for your trade. Fighter. I spent my life savings on decent combat equipment. I have a fine Gibson, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow for quarrels. Mage. I have a talisman that helped me use my powers, as well as an iron axe and a worn gambeson. Or scholar. I carry writing instruments and alchemical ingredients, as well as an iron axe, worn gambeson, and a healing potion. Or I can learn more about all three. What are we? Hive mind of Bonef? Nerf? Bonnerf? We got a mage, we got a scholar, we got mage scholars. Healing potion is very tempting. Magic, haven't tried it yet. I went fighter because I'm pretty simple. I cast fists. Oh, we got 2 fighters. 3 fighters. Okay, we're casting fists. Ah! You unpack to inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here just in case. You take a wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing too special or cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. Now we can open our inventory and kind of look at what we have here. Food, which is a huge one. Usually dried meat, crackers, nuts, seeds, fruit, water. Spoils slowly, don't require any cooking, so that's our survive. We got money. So when we do go ahead by trying to buy things from places we do find, we can spend money. We got our armor, we got our travel set, so that's our sleeping utensils, good axe, and now we got 3 bolts and a crossbow, which is very helpful, let me tell you. Alright, I return to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beasts and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put in a previous unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. You can join them and take a look at the meal. Thank them for the meal, but I want to eat with them. And you can sit down with you sit down with Tulia and see what she can tell you about the area. Or you can completely ignore the meal and sit down and speak to Tulia. You should always try to eat food anytime it's presented to you. Only because food becomes pretty hard to get sometimes. And obviously it's very rude to turn down someone's meal. Rude to ignore food, it is. Join the guard bros for the meal and people can talk while they're eating. They can eat while they The cold gruel, the meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, and some strange looking cereals and blueberries. Welcome you with the meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardships, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help settlements stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. Where there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. And different responses, different lifestyles. I eat quickly not to focus on the taste and then speak with Tulia. Hey, we got our food. Nourishment's up. She's focused and chooses her word carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like to and less than I should, she nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of the summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead and 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Any piece of information will help me do my job. The man leads forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick, whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides much of his younger face than you originally thought. What did the government officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. Should I share with them what I consider to be relevant, or what I've discussed with the officials stay between me and them? Do I want to make him happy by giving him any sort of information, or just kind of keep this professional? We did say playful and friendly, so I feel like sharing is the way we should be. I'm kind of leaning towards our friendly schizo side. You tell stories of how little guidance you received since this area is too far away from Havlanda. Havlavana? Lava? I don't know how to say words well. This word, to keep under control. You were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may have been found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. Havana. Ah, Silent L, those sneaky ones. Lieutenant drinks from her cup, crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubtful she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? I guess we'll just go through top to bottom until whatever. What should we know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know and what you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a different palfrey, I guess it would be 3-4 days? Then you confirm. She continues. From here you can reach the coast in about a day, and as long as you don't make any stops, you know the situation. You know the situation. Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Havana officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, and move soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, but maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. She pauses as her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we travel the roadside inn, Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade and play dice. Ooh, we got 69 bits from Earn the Hut. Hey buddy, how you doing? Ach, the phlegm. Yeah. Oh, hey, Mad Ducks. Why not just stay at one of the settlements, I ask. The man clears his throat. I mean, we're guards of this road. This camp is our post, and well, he turns to Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take this wrong way, Bonerf. I love it. It's Bo Nerf. Because Nerf. I love Nerf weapons. Don't take this wrong way, Bonerf. Are you devout soul? So here's where we get to choose our religion in the game, which will have its own ups and downs everywhere we go. Like most city folks, I believe that the people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both good and evil deeds, and that will make you part of the United Church. For many years, I supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teaching of an order of truth. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of shell, pneuma, and the soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, and so are the members. I have a place in my fellowship. I'm assuming that's like closed off. I have strong connections to nature and spirits, follow the path of my ancestors. Some say that my beliefs may be considered sinister or treacherous by the city folk. You can call me a pagan. Or there's no evidence of the right's existence and all the mysticals or tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. So it's either magic and that's it, or one of these random beliefs. Order of Stick of Truth, good game. We carry a Nerf crossbow and battle axe. That's what we do. We have a Nerf logo. We found it in the ruins of some ancient civilization. Let's see. I got pagan. We got the Order of Truth. Pagan or Truth. We needed some tiebreakers. There's a couple choices here. Someone needs to change the battery smoke detector. You know what? These are wire detectors. I heard it. I'm gonna make sure that they're... I mean, I'll go do that, but that was the first time I've heard it. Like, ever. I was wondering if that was in my headset or not. I'm glad someone confirmed it. Okay, we got 3. So, we got Order of Truth. We got 1, 1, and 2. I know, right? I thought it was in my headset, but apparently it's happening. We are the Fellowship of Interns. 3. 1, 2, 3. So we got 2, 1, and 2. 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2. 3. Alright, hits 3. I have a place in my fellowship. Oh, I see. She hesitantly looks away. I don't know much about that river of faith, but I'm sure we're not that different. I'm united myself. She says with sort of pride in her voice, so she follows United Church. If you picked United Church like I did, she'd be very happy to see you. I'll have to keep Beep unplugged without a battery for a little while. Yeah, I'll go check them all after the stream, just because I don't want to hear that sound randomly. But that's the first time I've ever heard it. That's really weird. I go, or maybe just explain what you were thinking of. Let's see. So I can either or explain what I was thinking. Hey, Von Falkenstein, good to see you. Night Owl. Let's see. You're thinking maybe just explain. Yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, I play a lot of random games. This is one I play this one a lot on my Steam Deck because it's pretty much just like touch screen. It's great writing. I just wanted to kind of share it with some of you. I'll just go with 2 so we can explain. The people are here disquieting. Every few words she taps the table with a finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger as she's pointing to an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at the bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even had a priest who claims to be an Urnite like yourself. They'll do crazy shit, her companion chips in. They'll use the dead to cut down trees and dig soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. So apparently my people believe in it. Hey, Pointy Man Frosty 73. Apparently what I've chosen is people who are fine with like making, you know, undead things. You heard a tale such as the one where you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without city's influence, it is custom and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to dangerous conditions they had to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddily of the river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood rages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? How about the East? Any of these worth mentioning? Anything catch my mount? So I think I can ask every one of these. I don't think it's the end of it all. So I'm going to start with this necromancers one. Can you see where you're not eager to go there if we can avoid it? Lieutenant chuckled. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to a Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous with little no shelters. People need your help. The man in shirt turns a bit and points his finger at the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first and soon. Julia nods. The Pelt of the North is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeeper or the guards, ask them about the road. How about to the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. The hills and forest rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. And then any monsters worth mentioning? Anything that could catch my mount? We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts counting on his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, Malflin eaters, griffins, but we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Julia glances at her companion. Though Parfy should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures kept the coast of the mountains. There's not that many humans around, and animals are busy fighting among themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and rides fast. Just count on luck. That's all I need to know for now. One of the main features of this is you're trying to find what happened to the previous Roadwarden. So that's one of those things I still haven't really figured out fully. But we'll discover that as we go. I'm not trying to raise a family. Nice, samurai. So I'm going to ask them about the previous Roadwarden. Dude takes a deep breath. Why aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldier speaks on for a bit about themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirm that he had stopped by a camp a few times, but stopped showing up in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice anyways. Always busy, drowning out things to take care of. He would sit somewhere sharpening his sword, fix his loud mail, clean his clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave it dawn. Unlike us, Astra never gets bored. Tulia lets out a chuckle. His secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone's keeping him in a basement. The man carves with a passion. We haven't seen him or his Syrian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer road wardens often use four-legged, meat-eating Syrians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatchling, but unlike horses, they can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable and won't suddenly sink its teeth into innocent passerby. Oh, shit. You get dinosaurs? I got a horse. Hey, TK. Hey, Fazbear. You know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you with a message. Neither one of us any insight to this dealing, says Tula. My predecessors left me with no clues. We also look at Astron's stuff. Wait, she raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to the nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovland. I was planning to take all these things there, a pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite the treasure. Oh, I didn't get this in my run. She glanced at you, but I would much prefer to bring them in truth about their father. Do you want me to find out what happened in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of the horde. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her. She either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hoven together. You think about your real mission, and you were planning to return to Hoven as early fall. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all his possessions. Alright. Find the Roadwarden. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'll begrudge you for anything. And who knows? You may just find his shell lying in the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall, stout, long red beard, short hair, pale face, and rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he has nothing, she sits down and stretches her legs. So find out what happened to him, dead or alive, just let me know. Alright, I guess we'll ask about, hey everybody, hey Rimworld, Harold, Sunshine, always good to see you, Master Mayhem, happy birthday. So we're gonna ask about the rope, because everyone needs a rope. There's a shell where they call it corporal bodies. Yeah, I'm assuming that's like the corpse. I'm gonna ask for a rope. You're in luck. She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a larger linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down in her chair. Take it. I was planning on leaving it behind. Take a closer look. A fine rope. Take it and offer. Ooh, should I buy it for 0 or offer some food? It did feed me, but I don't have a lot of food. Should I try to buy it for 0 coins, or should I offer food anyways? They might not take my food. What do you think, chat? How's all the voices in my head feeling? Do I try to buy it? Do I try to offer food? Food? Alright. First part, my astral side of my brain is thinking I should offer them some food for this fine rope. OP, gotta put steak on the grill. Ooh, I want steak. Evening, X-Choice and Games Rose Damn good. Hey, I'm glad that you also enjoy it. Okay, there you go. Tulia leans and rests her forearm on her thighs, looking down with clasped hands and meets your eyes. I normally refuse, but we need some decent food. Every day I'm searching throughout the groats looking for worms and putridity. We forage, but it's nothing great spot. Some food rations will brighten up a foggy day. Now, for now, you leave the rope on the table. Shit. I think I gave away a food. I mean, it's worth it. It's a fine rope, but I think I'm gonna have to start looking for food. Scared a couple of flat iron steaks for dinner. Oh man, you guys are making me hungry. I just got over being sick, so I'm actually hungry. I'll ask what happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happened, and monsters. And a strong band, though, his comment chips in. And we got to the peninsula in the spring. We saw people living in this camp. Lieutenant decided to avoid it. We looked for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded scolder scoffs, crosses arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we'd all have died that day. Oops. If you right click, it brings up the menu. Died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap. The armed ones pretend to be soldiers. Stay there at night, lose everything you have. Sounds like slave hunters. through the signs, very much so. They killed some, they took the others away, who knows where. They were letting the Northerns go, hoping to avoid their wrath. It's kind of worked out of the soldiers. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own. That's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the roads, saved lives. You mentioned monsters as well. Made chili? Nice. Nothing that wouldn't surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young and too experienced to spend the summer in this place without a good leader. They didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant, the other one ignored my orders and performed some kind of ritual hunt. So a werebear tore her to pieces. And the last one tried to act tough but didn't tell us that he had cut his hand while cleaning his Gibson and let out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off. He was so ashamed, decided to walk north and find a new life. Disappear, idiot. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. You made this place safer? Should I stay silent on that one? Should I reconfirm that they made the right decisions or just let it go? Because that guy cut himself, was too embarrassed, and then probably died from it. Too late. Made it safer, yeah. Barely. Tula seems tired, and who knows if it was worth the lives and effort. How'd you become the... Tula, how'd you become the lieutenant? It's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over the table. In the cities, there was a strict order of, what should I call it? Exchange looks with her companion who can't help her. Well, leadership succession. I guess Hullman chiefs selected commanders, those selected lieutenants, and then those put soldiers order priority. If a lieutenant dies, they got replaced by the next soldier in line. So you were the successor. Not exactly, but when we fought bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but he failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above, then exploded, pierced their heads, completely avoided their shields. Really unpleasant. She pauses. And you were the third one in line, is that right? Or jump like that to save a man in the middle of an attack? Doesn't sound like a wise decision. Ooh, should I mean, if you don't know what's going to happen with magic, trying to protect people isn't a dumb decision. It was just it wasn't an educated guess, you know. I don't think I should shit on the guy for trying to protect people. I think I'm going to go with the first one. Basically, yeah, she says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan on becoming a leader, though. I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow anyways. We can find out what their squad mission is. Is it legal to eat gummy bears while watching a dig stream? Oh, you can eat them all you want. What's your squad's mission? Lieutenant looks into your eyes. You know, the usual. Making the road safe, keeping people alive. I explained that it might be important for me to know what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it'd be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby, a place where you can always find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. She tilts her head back. Now, if you had any other questions, anything I should know about this camp? The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp, have an extra stop for mulers and donkeys just between the inn and the southern villages. There's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. With the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned from time to time, serving as shelter for travelers. The bandits here came in the spring, further paralyzed the exchange of information between the north and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep here whenever you want, the man concludes in their tale. Although don't expect to wake up without pain in your back. So I asked, if you were me, where would you go next? Or I know everything I need. Should I ask? You have Albanese gummy bears? What is in an Albanese gummy bear? Yeah, gummy. She's like Mutter Sputter or something over in the Ox now. She spends more time there than I do. See. I'm gonna ask just because I want to know what they would say. The soldier answers quickly. To the inn, of course. He grabs his empty mug. The one northwest of here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather there. The northern road is much more traveled, but the hunters will tell you about this and that, and you'll have a chance to yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how I can make a first impression on him? She smirks. Avoid cheap jokes, stick to trade, don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied on. Okay, so I'm not allowed to be funny or playful with the inn guy. It's getting late, we should prepare for the night. I agree to the signs of relief, and you may do better than Ashton did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you and that's shattering the mask of a soldier. Thanks for your help. You go to the barrel, splash water in your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. Yep, there is a appearance, which does count for how stinky or well you're taking care of yourself, and the worse you are, the less people will like you. I guess not really less people, like less presentable you are. How much bath? After the night, you only get worse. Your horse is already napped and napping and too anxious to lay down. I prepare for my watch because I took first watch. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, or they won't try to jump over the palisade. Probably better to watch out for apes. They can climb up and carry food, or any food they find. And there's this one really loud were elk that keeps smelling the wall, though it has never tried to get in. He points at the gate. The lieutenant will block the entrance. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes looking for shelter, better call to help out. And if someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. And if it gets cold, feel free to make a fire, and the best place is on the watchtower. You may need to want to put out a blanket there or something. The watchtower? He gives you a long puzzle look. Oh, here. He points at the pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one. You'll have a great view of the northern side. I was I don't see one, but apparently this is the watchtower. Great view of the northern side, more dangerous side. Also, no, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points to the tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple hours sleep on the ground if you wish. Go there after and me and just this once at least. I have a paladin side. I smile. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Were elk, yeah. Hey, the law with tier 2 for 12 months, dude. You got the top hat, you got the black pants. A year, I know, law. We're gonna have a big event on Saturday with Command Carrier 2. Get your boys ready. Teams of 6. Teams of 6, 2 carriers each team. Get your people. 1 year, black pants. 1 year, black pants. You put your blanket on the tallest crate, sit down. The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment. From time to time, your back aches and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. For the most part, you spot small critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, you see a 3-horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, two-legged dragonlings appear, leading its much smaller offspring. The fury beasts try to intimidate with the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk the fight nor admit their defeat. Don't let it distract me. Keep looking around. You hear death screams of a distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of Muxians lazily chew grass, preparing themselves to sleep. Dust foxes running together with a lynx, playful screeches. Thankfully, you've never had to intervene. You just sit there watching this not so distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down to the tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple of words. You can confirm that nothing important has happened. I gather my things, squeeze into the tent, and use my bag as a pillow. Might put my blanket on the pallet and cover myself with a cloak. Sleeping in tent is not the stuff of dreams, but it's much welcomed rest. The pallet keeps the cold soil away. The moonlight saves the outside world from being eerily gloom. You listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal of my journey. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wandering duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula, learn about the territory, resources, and threats. To get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Hovland's officials and the traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have the time. I need to be thorough as I can. So here's where it kind of points. You're the first Roadwarden that has the goal of trying to scout and report back what the merchants need. The Merchant Guild needs to do to kind of retake control of this realm. So your goal is to like learn as much as you can and deal with any problems they don't have to. But here we are. I don't know, if you're trying to raise a family, it's fine. Once you finish your new reconnaissance, you speak with Tulia and return to Hollivan. There you can report back to your employers, get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goals to pursue. Now we get to choose my own goal. So all the voices in my head out there, all 42 of you, let me know what we do. So we can make it, and this is completely up to us. There's no pre-hit. I can gather extra coins so I can help someone I care about. I need to gather extra coins so I can retire early and live in prosperity and safety. So a bit of a greed one. If I gather enough connections among the local leaders, I'll use it to become a major player in the Merchants Guild. So use it to rise my position. I want to remember it as a soul who brought peace and order to this realm. You want to be a hero or remembered. I just want to help people make this region safer for locals and newcomers alike. Just be the basic, you know, help everybody, make everything safe. I need to find a new life for myself. I have a difficult past and I want to be forgotten. So you're doing this because you have nothing to lose. So what should it be? Should it be helping someone in need? Retire rich, become a major player, be remembered as a hero, make it safer for everybody, or just be forgotten? Wow. Ooh, look at these kind-hearted voices in my head. Got all these people. Oh, look at this. Most of my brain is just want to help people make. This is why you guys are amazing. This is why WPL 76, the whole BPL, the Ox, all of you are fucking awesome. Because it's like, what kind of people do we have in our people? It's all these good people. We are Digs. We are one. All right, new shelter unlocked. Your half-sleeve senses catches surrounded with local wildlife. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though pleasant, humid. Late summer evens out it slowly. You think about your goals being to gather your strength. You cannot sleep, so I have to hit the sleep button. All I can do is... So here, when you sleep, you get to choose. You want to shove your face in your mouth, you want to try to bathe or anything. Since we don't have any soap, we can't do much, so we're just going to sleep in the tent. Sleeping will help us get rest and vitality back, but it will hurt our food and it will hurt our hygiene. We're good people here. Then we have the villain turn in the third act. Heck yeah, Viper. Sleep in a tent. You can spend the night in a borrowed tent. If not special, protect you from the wilderness. The ground won't be painfully hard nor cold. So we're gonna sleep. Here we go. You're woken up by sunlight, rested well and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. After only a couple of breaths, you notice a weird smell like roast. No, burning meat. Burning. Rotten meat. Disgusted crawls your consciousness. You exit the tent. Your horse looking around nervously. Your bag's where you had left him. You see an open gate. Uh-oh. I go out to see what happens. Both soldiers are staying near a humble pyre. The man sure is looking at it contentively. Tula is the first one to address you. Bonif, she greets you with a nod. We use the horse manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning up. You're using my horse dropping. See, I am giving back. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belonged to a male or female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple hours. A traveler or undead? The latter, a young one. She lacks the prenim to understand that she couldn't just get inside the camp without climbing. So I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight, one more fog, and she'd be a real threat. Even though now it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours, and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even the Roadwardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Julia calls this undead a she. Most Unites hesitate to do so. So, as you can kind of tell, it's kind of like the Walking Dead scenario. If you die here and you're not destroyed, you're probably going to come back as some kind of undead or shell. So if you kill people or things, it's best to burn them, even though it's pretty gross. Time for me to leave. Running away from the reek, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Find us here if you need us or if you learn what happened to Astrin. There's enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell mocked a number of songs and tales, but you hear no scorn in Tula's voice. You wonder You wonder how many acts of kindness like this one that you're going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to the pyre. I must prepare myself for the journey. You somehow miss the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally preparing any path for you as a long journey takes a lot of time. You put on your gamison and make sure that your axe is tightly attached to your belt. And then you get in a saddle, the perfect knickers, and you're ready to leave. It's time for you to get on to the crossroads north of here. Time to travel. So the travel map is kind of the same way as traveling. We are here. We're going to head north because that's our only option. And every time you move, there's going to be something. Here's currently where we're going through. Even at later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find a pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes and merger of features of birds and furried beasts. Each one is of different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fonts are covered in vivid feathers, while their rears are darkered fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling and brawling and chasing each other around, blocking your path. I'm gonna consider my options. Here we go, boys. You can't enter the forest blindly, and if these other creatures were to chase you, the thicket would be dangerous for your horse. The reason why travelers stay close to the main roads as possible is why adventurers move in groups. Usually the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for a pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple hours. You're thinking that about your conversation with Julia that you got a lot to do and time may be of the essence. We can use force, which is violence or a direct threat. And if you have any vitality points, you use the warrior train to unique X. So since I am a warrior, I do have vitality points, which every time I use one of these, it's almost like a free win, but you only get so many, and it also will kill you. So it's like either I die or use this type stuff. Or we can take our chances with take my axe and hurry the horse very fast if we should be fine. I can stay here, or I can get the free win, which is from my back. This is like the free win one. I grab my crossbow and hit it, should make them scatter. The crossbow is limited, so it's a resource. Or I can try to like use my like axe ability to cut through them easy enough. So it's up. So we can use force, or we can use the crossbow, or take a chance. So it's my axe and just ride, wait, shoot them with a crossbow, which will drop me down one bolt, or attempt to fight them with force. My astral side is saying I should wait. I should wait it out. We're hovering, waiting. We're waiting to wait. Patience, good warden. Then we should wait. While you're observing the griffins from a safe distance, you allow your horse to graze for a bit. Occasionally you see smaller animals, but you spend your time undisturbed. After almost 2 hours of waiting, two of the larger beasts engage in what looks like savage combat, but results merely knocking one of them aside. The defeated griffin stands up completely unharmed, preening its feathers bashfully while Champion walks away proudly, followed by the other members of the pack. They disappear among the trees. Good call. I'm ready to move forward. And we didn't use any crossbow bolts or our force. The road splits. According to what the soldier told you, that you may find a safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush and the trail is overgrown. The kids used to have a song. How did it go? The harshest pathways leads to the dragon's lair. Those search treasure. Do they do? Ignore that. The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write. For folks who can't read, covered in old red paint, the point, he says, blood there, has people danger to be found. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. I look at my horse. What's my horse's name? What should we name the horse? We're Bonerfer. Bonerf. We're Bonerf. What would Bon Earth's horse be named? This time I promise not to accidentally hit the enter button at the end of this. Mr. Ed? Wow, call a class. I don't have any peanut butter. I can't be Mr. Ed if I don't have peanut butter. Arts, hey. That's really good, Kai. I think I'm gonna go with that. I'm Boner Earth, this is Arts. Oh good, there goes Boner Farts. Boner Arts. Arts is peaceful as you stroke his mane. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but you spent many years together, happy to go on. Takes a couple of steps forward. You spot a few berry shrubs and the wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Alright, now we travel. Left or right? So we do know that left will lead us to the tavern everyone's been telling us to go to, and it kind of is implied that you should go there. Right is I want to bypass all that stuff and make it really hard for yourself. We do need a bath, really bad. And someone said earlier, left for bath, left for bath. Yes, we got 2 left for Astral Viper baths. We're gonna go left. Arch trots with ease, unbothered by a few branches covering the beaten road. The bird's song and distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe, deer, and saurians. The sight of nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward, your party enters a canter. The beasts don't even begin pursuit. The speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower taller than the trees. It must be the inn I've heard about. We have gold we should be able to eat. There it is. Inns like this one fit regions traveled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in the Forsaken Peninsula. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away, and workers guarded by expensive mercenaries surely lived many seasons in primitive hamlets, subsisting on salted supplies. There are seemingly no cracks in the walls, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide if not in the building, but at least in the yard. The expensive labor put in this fortress are worth many trading ships. 3 armed people on ramparts, though you only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet right next to the gate, and you think you'll notice a glimpse of a smile. They're wearing gabardines, each one of them dyed different, yellow, green, and linen gray. I approach the gate. A woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointing in every possible direction. This combination color doesn't work at all. In the woods, one would have to shout to draw this much attention. There's still a fair bit of distance between the two of you, but she speaks loudly. I haven't seen a horse in years now. I said, what's weird is let's see a large jackass, huh? Her voice is young and strong, with an accent that reminds you of the villages spread around Hoven. But no jackass will wear a saddle, I'd say. She exchanged a few words with the male guard wearing green, giving you time to move closer. Well, this one here says there really are donkey sandals. Say traveler, how hard is it to ride a horse? And now... Yes, roe is also a type of deer. So here we get to be friendly, distracted, or playful, friendly. Friendly, playful, distracted, intimidating, or vulnerable. How about you give it a try? Friendly, playful. I laugh. You wouldn't believe it. The lessons were a pain. Distance. It's easy to learn the basics, but it's tiring. You train different muscles than those for combat. Intimidating. I don't answer her. It's an inn, isn't it? Open the gate. Or vulnerable. Quite hard, honestly. Some days are still rough on me. Playful matches the mood. You're right. It does kind of feel like she's making jokes. I should make jokes back. We got 2 for 2 for the playful. The smiling man until the last. Be the smiling man until the laughter stops. Good point. You get off your horse and imitate a silly walk from that day forward, your first long journey. Then your whole shell was crying. You illustrate the pain as you move from your hand to your back, hips, thighs, then return. The guard tells you about that time they had to carry their friend with bitten off legs for 3 days straight through the heart of the woods. Meanwhile, the other guard opens the gate. You may be in a good mood, the woman in yellow smiles at you, but don't get so noisy when you talk to our boss. The man never smiles. He has world suffering sculpted in his face. She leads you under the roof and under which your party can rest, tethered to a cord on a wooden post near some old hay. Once you're ready, go inside and speak with our boss. Maybe you're hungry. The other guards take care of the vicarious chores. They peek at your mount every now and then as they're splitting firewood, cleaning their clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs, 2 of them making rope. You head towards the inn, hearing the piercing scream of a boar on the other side of the yard. I open the door. Oh, nice. Only some of the windows are open, revealing a dust dancing in the sunbeams. The air is a bit stuffy. A muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, and after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. You're lucky to show up. His voice deep and soft, with a city-like accent. He observes you with a keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. A keg on decent ale, wormwood, bog mithril, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills the mug carefully and puts it on the countertop. It's going to spoil soon, today maybe, and we don't drink here before the even. I hate to see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, rare even amongst the southerner tribes. His hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor, and his elegant tunic wouldn't stand out much in the city. I stand at the counter. The planks let out creak as every step you make. You slow down a bit. You could swear that the innkeeper made a little bit to no noise. Here you go. He pushes the mug forward. But just as you know, my pelt in the north doesn't belong to Hollivan. You can sleep on my floor if you wish, but if you want a better meal, you have to pay. We may have some leftovers from dinner, but I need to check. Everybody said, do not be friendly or playful to this guy. So we can take that. We got to be serious. So we don't want to be vulnerable. He doesn't care. We don't want to be friendly. He won't like it. We can't be playful. He'll get angry. Intimidating? I don't feel like we should be challenging him. We're a guest. So distance sounds good. Distance sounds good. He nods, fills on the mug, this time with water. I guess there's no point in waiting for Anderson then. I'm glad to see someone taking his place. Even my crew here hits the road only if they need to see healers of Howler's Dell. And they're more than resourceful. The Roadwarden is always going to find work here in the north. Though maybe not on the eastern road. He takes a mouthful of water and drinks it with a pleased sigh. There are no guests here at this time, or hardly ever. I can take a short break. For brief moments he meets your eyes. Drink the ale or ignore the ale and tell the man I have a couple of questions. He did offer the ale. I feel like it would, even though he's a serious guy, I think he would take offense if we didn't drink it. We got the one, we got the double ones. The dark room and wide wooden walls of the mug make the liquor look brown as a chestnut. The lee and spring hit your nose, and the first sip is even too complex, too flowery. While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, the exotic licorice ruins the aftertaste. Ugh. You now know why there's so much left. Maybe it's an acquired taste. The innkeeper nods. I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with the worrying thought I have, which is there are burglars in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of the open strike. But they've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day they may steal our furs, and I have no doubt the reason why the merchants come here only once. Having bandits around gets expensive. He rubs his hand together, camouflaging his paws. I want you to reach Howler's Dell northwest of here. It's a larger settlement around. I'm sure you'll get there sooner or later. Ask Thias, the mayor, about Glacia. Is that a G? Glacia? The bloodthirsty. I'm gonna say Glacia. The bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumors about a raid of the north. If Glacia is ready to break truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with them to get rid of her band. G. Glacia. He looks the nearby dragon bone. Not too difficult, right? Just when you need to have a chance, a couple of days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins so when you get back with the news. Fine? Should I ask for 3 or nod? I feel like I could probably push for 3. I'm pretty badass. I'm just being distant. Maybe I mean 2's fine, but 3 might be good. 3? We got nod. We got a nod and we got nod and 3. Oh no. He did give me a free drink. Shit, that might have been a gold. Riffy, why did you have to come in here with the logic? A bad dream about the spoil. Alright, we got too many nods. We're gonna nod. Great, what else do you need? It's not, should I eat? I am actually pretty hungry. Shit. I could eat. Do you have any leftovers? We need to eat. Yes, I feed them the boars. I won't give anything for nothing. He tells you to wait, then leaves the building for you. Just returns a wooden bucket with a log stick ending in a hook. Go through the gate, turn left, you'll see a bunch of bushes. We need some berries. Bring me a bucket full. You'll be done half an hour or so. Your horse could use a nap anyways. I'll prepare something to fill you. The hook is not made of metal or wood. It's curved. Sorry, my brain just shot. A long curved claw, almost black. I reach for the tools. Half an hour. That's quite a lot for berry picking. I mean, yes, of course I'm going to do that. The tools are cold but not heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of the bucket. Berries aren't a problem, the innkeeper smirks. Unlike the snakes, better scare them away with a stick than move on with the hook. Protect your hands. The little ones won't eat you, but don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. I'll go right away. Let's go. Want to go straight to the... should we go straight out for the berries so we can eat, or should we talk to some people before we go out? We go back in the inn, which wouldn't really do much. Forage time? We're going right to work? I mean, we are. You know what? That's kind of jokester we are. We go to work. Eat hungry. Fine, we'll go straight. Think we knew what he was talking about. You put on the gloves and look through the bushes from safe distance. It doesn't take long for you to notice the first serpent lying in a rock somewhere in the thicket. These creatures are not large, and that even some of them hiss at you to slither closer. The jabs of hook keep them at distance. You don't know much about these berries. They're round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such a color even if you were looking for food in the wilderness. The plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh. You make sure to thorough color your skin with your cloth. You have to look through many bushes to fill the bucket, but the presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. Gary Bush, I got the bucket of berries. You return to the courtyard. The two guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. Their wrestling is accompanied by a crowd. Enter the inn. I put his fruit on the counter. Great. He peeks inside the bucket. I've got cabbage stew with a few goose chunks for you. I serve them even to the merchants if there were any around. The warm meal is filling and it's well seasoned and not overcooked. And like I've said, I rarely have food to spare, but feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You might be lucky. And I've been cooking my whole life. Hey, we got our nourishment up twice for that. Heck yeah. Keep chewing or thanks. You know, it's not... Yeah, I would go gather... I mean, the other thing is you can get bit and then now you're poisoned. 2? I keep chewing. And how that old hook in my work for you? I see you still have your hands. Ooh. I gave him the hook. I give him the hook. I'm fine. I lost it. Oh, would I want to keep it? Like to buy it from you? I don't think I need to buy it. Although it could be helpful. We buy it? Mind your manners. Yeah, I'll give him the hook. He takes the tools from you, nods. Need anything else? I'll see what he has for sale. I can go pick up a few things for you. Some of the food you travel, sort apples, nuts, sausages. Not too many at once. We need to maintain our supplies. I've got an elk fur I don't need. It's a buyer was caught by a pack of red wolves. Nice sleeping spot just for walls. Almost untouchable of almost untouchable of soap. Oh, soap. Priceless for a traveler. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic or made of fine oak ash strong. So you should have some better supplies before you start your own bathhouse. After you mention you'd like some more useful things on the road, he looks down. I don't have any blades or armor to spare, but if you pay well, you can take one of our crossbows and a bunch of quarrels. A yeebo, wool cords, and triggers might use a little bit of oil as long as you get it without soaking it in magic. It takes a bit of muscle to draw, but even a 16-year-old could handle it. I won't sell it cheap, but I'm ready to give a discount. Let me take a look what he has first. Okay, so he has food rations, which we should buy a couple. Box of soap would be good since we're really stinky. I'm not sure how long it burns on contact. We can't afford it, and we don't need an elk fur. And getting some more crossbow bolts might be worth it, because then we could be we can fear less using our crossbow to deal with things at range. So, inventory brain of mine, what are we thinking about buying? Well, we're not going straight the next. Well, he said to the northeast. No, northwest. So it's gonna be a little bit. 3 rations, 2 bolts. Do you have a bedroll? I have a blanket. 2 rations, 2 curls, and soap. Okay. Oh, I only can buy 1. Shit. But that gave me multiple, so that's good. That gave me 3. We'll buy... That actually makes it a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. That's awesome. I can buy more tomorrow, so that's good. So if I do sleep here, I can get more rations. Do I have anything you would like to buy? I don't know. You bought some items with your chick said, I don't need these, nor can I sell them to anyone. I'd rather make coin than waste them. I pack my things. I do need to ask about the previous Roadwarden. So I'm looking for Astron, the previous Roadwarden. Are you now? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him. I don't think I'm going to be much of a help. He rests his elbows on the table and grunts quietly to clear his throat. But I do want you to find him, so... When asked about his intention, he measures his words. Astron and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins, my half of the investment. He knocks on the table with his fist anxiously. If you get my coins or at least find out what happened to the guy, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed after bringing me the news. Could it be Astron that stole a coin and ran away? Ooh, this guy bad, man? He looks at the window and starts playing... he looks at the window and starts to play with a shutter. I think Astron ain't the kind of soul that would do such a thing. For him, it wasn't much of a fortune. I'd risk that he say he had earned my trust. Not only mine, you know. It's easy for a Roadwarden to make connections. He's always had places to go and things to take care of. He rubs the table with his thumb, as if you're trying to clean a visible stain. I've asked travelers. I sent a couple of pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in the White Marshes for a day and was meant to do something for the people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So let me know once you find anything. We may yet return to this whole investment thing. I'll think about it. Can you tell me anything about the peninsula? What can anyone say? This place doesn't even have a name, unless there's an old book and archive that no soul knows about. You know, I'd call it everything from here to the coast, the hunting ground. He glances your eyes. But it's not us who hunt. Keep that in heart. The beast in all shapes and all forms. His words gain confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. I live in this inn for over 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple of roads, a couple of places. It's just, once you get here, you see how harsh it is to hit the road. You only have more reasons to stay in a warm stove behind a wall. And even if it's suffocating, he looks to the windows. I'm sure you've heard a lot already. The people don't build hamlets anymore. There's no more imbexes from the south. The traders stay only for a few days, and all of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. What will I find traveling west? Well, there are hills nearby, and then you'll find a village maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by a beast almost a decade ago. Nothing to see there. Goblins live there now, so most of the people traveling around it. They say it's haunted, but who knows? Who cares? He crosses his arm and starts to sway back and forth, gathering his thoughts. You'll get to a large tree on the edge of the swamp. For the locals, it's sacred. You're not used to hearing someone mention paganism. There's something unusual about them. There's a small path south which leads to an old mine in the mountains. Nothing to find there, but keep riding north and you'll find Howler's Dell. It's at a clean brook, and all right, so I gotta find Howler's Dell. So I think that is somewhere we need to go. To set clear brook, farmers live there, and the Malfrans and druids. They'll let you stay for a night, but they're not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been ape ale in yet. He lets out a gentle smile. I nod. Or do I smile politely? He lets out a gentle smile. Should I smile? Or should I just nod? He doesn't like people, but he's smiling. If he's smiling, do I smile? I nod? I nod. I only know a bit about the next settlement, Old Pagos. The soil there ain't too fertile, so they work in their quarry and help other settlements build things in exchange for crops. The forests and hills ain't too harsh, but the Seekers have a small monastery nearby in the mountain. I don't care much about them. They keep themselves and they don't pay well. The third village is unknown to me. The White Marshes sit at the bogs. I've heard the smell of Griffin's Lair, and I've heard a lot of nasty rumors about the place. But I won't share them. I don't want to be a lie spreader. So the three villages, really, Howler's the one near Monastery, whatever it's called, and the marshes. Don't let their beds and palisades fool you, though. Weird people live there. Don't tell them that you need more than you need to. You'll wonder if it's something that he would tell other travelers as well. Are the eastern roads as rough as I heard? Pretty much. Don't leave the main road. I'd say not far from here you'll find an old dolmen. A few people had to spend a night there. The monkeys stole food and gods in their bags. It was their fault. One of them had fallen asleep in the middle of his watch. But you know, Eastern folks are wild. The roads are rough. Almost no souls live there. One day all these roads will be swallowed up by the trees again. The furthest my team has ever gone was the home of the Enchantress. Just stay on track until you reach the crossroads. Right near the abandoned watchtower. From there, turn east, you'll recognize the place. It's a nice home with a lonely meadow surrounded by a wall. It looks towards a closed window, then at you again. Kind of like our walls, but simpler, without the coating. I gotta stop hitting that right click. She lives in a hermit. Lucida? Udosi. These are such weird names. No, I'm a streamer, I swear. I'm talking to my Twitch chat. I'm not nodding or asking. Yeah, like imagine like in person, I'm like, do I nod or smile at the guy? What? You nod? Okay, I'll nod. And then you just nod. And he's just like, what the hell? Hermit. She lives in a hermit. Udosia. I don't want to be ya. I don't even know how she survives there, but if you don't have a decent coins, you won't find much there. So back on the crossroads, if you turn left instead, you'll see a road. People stay away from it. Connects to the tower and monastery, shortcut between two sides of the peninsula. I was warned about the locals not to use it. It already belongs to the beasts. Have you ever been to the northern coast? I only know about another inn. It's far from here, maybe a day on foot, a bit less on the eastern side. His eyes once again focused the floor. Never been there, but I've heard it's a safe place, close to villagers, fishers, and hunters, although I don't know much about them. That's all I need. I do want to ask about the inn. Nod. Fez. So you do know a thing or two after all. His mocking tone is soon replaced by a gentle smile. It was built long before we arrived, and it didn't work out too well for the previous owners. Once the war ended, they left. Not enough travelers, bad trade, and the villagers stick to themselves. We, however, came prepared. Now we're prospering. When you ask him how he can afford all the supplies, he runs his fingers through his dark hair. I'm not against running it in, but we don't rely on guests. We're the ones doing all the trading. My hunters are a clever bunch. They stay safe in the forest. In exchange for furs, claws, bones, we get what we need and more, both from the south and the north. He relaxes in his chair. We have a good life here. We spent a whole lot on armor, crossbows, lumber, spears, but another 10, maybe 12 years we'll have enough savings to move to Hullivan and not work for another day of our lives. We take the risks, but smartly, and our team is stronger than ever. I have big plans for us. It's surprising to find a purple-skinned man this far north. Is there a good story behind the inn's name? Or return to my other questions? I think I can get both of these in, so I'll probably start with the top one. It's surprising to find a purple man. It sounds a little racist. I ain't seen a soul looking like this since my mom died, he shrugs. It's not a fascinating tale to say I wasn't part of the invasion, yet I'm glad it freed all those who were chained by the cities and the corsairs. He looks at the wall. I'm a Lazan, by the way, but I rarely hear the name. I mean, there's a story, but not a good one. He clears his throat. For years I wanted to have an inn called Pelt, but in the city it would be a bad taste. Taverns and inns named with single words were cheap and nasty reputations. There was the Claw, and Mugger, and Basilisk, and Blissful, and I think the good places use at least two words, like Empty Barrel, or the Rose in the Hamlet, or Empress Smile. Pighead was an exception. It was a real dive. He chuckles. In my soul, it's still just a Pelt. Pelts is where we're here for, what we came for, and what will make us reach our goals. I'll return to my other questions. About Glossia's band. He freezes, observing your hand silently. He wants me to get the answer from Mayor House. I'm on it. Any rumors we're sharing. He crosses him. I don't like talking about people ain't nearby, but knowing what you're doing and who you're going on about. Tell me about... Oh. I actually have to ask. I don't really have anything to ask. Unless any of you come up with anything. Let's change the topic. I guess there's a... I haven't actually figured out what you can randomly type there. Lucia? What was the pig quote from today? I'm not sure about that. I don't really pay attention to the quotes. Once I got over 500, I was like, all right, they exist. My name is Boner. I used to be a fighter. Like someone asked about, I think that's all I can really ask. Lucia? Is it just Lucia? Josh, wonderful narrator. I have to do things after rolling his dice once more. I don't think that's the one. Let's see. Lucia's the new LT. Let's all go outside. Let's approach the guards. The woman in yellow is kneeling next to a brown hairy boar which is resting on the side. The beast is not as large as the dark ones in the forest. It responds to touch in the human hands of a brush, a grateful grunting, rapid twitches a hind foot. No matter how friendly it fears, it's still tethered to a well, and you have no doubt its charge would leave Arts dead in a breath. When the woman knows you, she steps forward to the boar's disappointment. So, what, the new Roadwarden? She points at the window and with her chin, forestalling the question. We don't need anything now, but when we travel with our furs, we could use some assistance. She may be around 30, but her warm voice and bright smile are camouflaged in a touch of time on her unpowdered face. Like many redhead people with freckles, her skin is unhealthily pale. The boar runs up to her, observing her boots with furiously sniffing a food breath beating the ground. She pats its back and maintains her focus. How about a game or two? We have a bit of time to talk about this and that. Maybe you get a couple of coins or lose one. She winks. We could play dice or throw axes at a target. Ooh. Do we want to dice, throw axes, or don't gamble? What are we doing? Ah, Pig's Head Realm. Realm of the Pig's Head. Nice. Axe too? I mean, we do use an axe. That might be better than our chances. Throw an axe. Show me what you got. Your arrival, and especially Dragonbone, you pull out are some cheerfully welcome. The guards bear a couple of wooden planks which are leaned against the wall. There are also spectators, and you're told that the other hunters are either sleeping or have duty on the tower. Remember, no magic, she says. One of the players, his face deadly serious. Ooh, they don't like that people cheating with axes, huh? There are going to be 4 participants in 8 rounds. You aim at the target, draw with charcoal. The person who axes lands in the closest center, and the circle gets a point. Axes fail to stay in the plank don't count. The person who has most points end to win. I blend in with the group. I like how using force has mean I've trained with for years, so I think I'll do that one. You talk a lot, but don't say much. You share casual jokes, memories, and views like orchestrate. Arts and Tullius Camp are also brought up. When you ask about the roads of the locals, the stories are vague. The drinks are here. It's a poor beer made from leftovers after regular brewing. It's cold, sweet, doesn't reach your head, but you try to avoid the smell. Just don't spill anything. The boar may get sick, says the opponent with one arm. As a guest, you start with the first throw. Your axe flies, it hits the very middle of the plank, piercing the plank with a kind thud, which makes it real difficult for the other players to outperform you. A minute later, you've won the first round, but you can't expect that luck every time. Should we do force and trained for years, or just say all I could do is try my best? I feel like force is necessary, but I think that might use our force chance. Not really sure if this is like a because these all have numbers. I don't know if this is like just something I could do because I'm a fighter, but we only have 1 force. I mean, what do we got to lose? This first time I'm trying it. Let's do it, right? I've trained axing for 3 years. I've got this. After a long series of misses, you finish with 1 point, second last place. You gas the winner, Dragonbone. Cheers, she says. It doesn't make a big deal out of it. The lighthearted comments of often losers in the guard's yellow armor approach you with a smile. Damn it, I lost with force. She comes up to me, sparks with a smile. Have you ever been at the heart of the woods? I know we apparently we didn't, because there's the thing, like you can throw hard but not accurate, or you can throw accurate but not hard, I guess. I don't know. It didn't spend it all though either. Maybe I already clicked it. Maybe I did it backwards. Have you ever been in the heart of the woods before? We sometimes hunt south from there. There's a good hunting grounds. The western half the second is too overgrown. Maybe a soil difference? She shrugs, moves her hair away from her forehead. It's a risky spot. There are tenants there, the wolves, the furless ones, and if you have to go through the tall grasses, watch out for what's on the ground. Ain't many archers in the trees, as if she told a joke, but there are all too many worms even larger than a water leech. Tell me about yourself. Oh, what was that? A brief giggle. Her voice gets cold and serious. Nah, Roadwarden. We use names and stories among friends. You ain't one. Don't make me tempt curses. Whoa! I was foraging for berries for the innkeeper. Oh, so I heard. Don't worry about it. Usually we forage by ourselves, but he wouldn't ask you for a dragon for a meal. He gives small jobs to people all the time. Just see who agrees to do them. Wants to judge who's use and who's too proud of their own good. Some questions about this place. Not much to tell, honestly. There are many beasts around, both wild game, dangerous monsters. We spend our time surrounded by these walls, leaving only to hunt, forage, or trade. That's an unusual tower, expected to be closer to the gate and shorter. Like Havana, fair, but it ain't to protect the gate. This is a stronghold that was built long before we moved in, and it's not to fight off humans. The tower is meant to be used for those who observe the deep forest. We look out for fires, dragons, any winged creatures that are looking to roost on the roof. Baldy, she nods towards the man who's indeed completely bald, has great eyes and sees even well in the darkness. Anything interesting creatures live by? Ha, here? Everything lives here. She flips her hair. I swear, we saw blue dragons, a unicorn family, battle between trolls and goblins, face 2 beastmen, oh, and a gargoyle, and a hunting queen, shouts all the time. I can tell you about them, but I won't. She winks and passes the boar and said, you know, hunters have their secrets. Your group seems quite attached to this boar. How could you not be? She crouches and raises the boar's head, steps away and squeals after someone's murdering it. It came with us from the city just in case. We had no clue how our first winter would go, so we needed some backup meal. And it works too. Cleans the dirt, reaches around the beast again, it trots away. The woman straightens up with the police sigh. They haven't needed to eat it so far, but it's also funny. I learned in my home village that the farm boars are getting a bit smaller and more cuddly. Kind of like ibexes. So not much of wild, dangerous beasts, but we don't like getting it close to other animals or children. What do you usually hunt for? Anything we can eat or sell. If there's a partridge or a squirrel or a rat, we don't complain, but we move as a group. We look for something larger. Deers, arches are delicious, but we don't always look for taste alone. There are some value in bones, antlers, claws, tusks. Some people use these to make tools or sculptures. We use them to make tools and spears. Never have enough spears. You pause and look at the strands of her hair, then suddenly speaks to him. Oh, we look for furs, of course. What do I find north? Sorry, I don't really go those regions. We stay close to home. Sometimes we move south or west or Taller's Dell, but only to trade. They're fine with buying more than they need since they can take the wares to the coast. She takes a long breath, twirling her hair and gathering her thoughts. You know what? I've never seen the beach, and I've been living here for how many more years? More than 10 years now, she giggles. The only part of the sea I've seen was from Old Pagos, which is the place on the hill. I've never put a toe in the salt water. She looks towards the other hunters who confirms their experience is the same. But Old Pagos is a good place. As long as you don't mock their order and act nice, they'll also be kind. Boston says they're too serious for him to stand them, but at least they don't bite without a reason. Anything about these necromancers? I need a hydrate, yeah. There we go. Have you heard anything about the necromancers? It's something new. Her voice lowers to a whisper. I've never seen the White Marshes, but over the years we've seen people moving away from the south. They told us that places changed too much. A priest died, I think, and new one awakens the dead. Sorry, before that's all I know. She's hiding something. She sounds convincing. Look for knowledge about wild creatures. When I told you knowledge is valuable, oh no, she looks up at the board, seems obsessed with a clump of grass growing next to the wall. 15 dragons, no less. Is there any discount for friends? Well, the friends on friends, she gives you a radiant smile. Let's say 15. If it's too much for you, maybe speak to me after you spend some time around. Show us what you're capable of or play dice with us. And you have an hour to spare. These folk here, she starts to whisper, points a thumb in the gardens. They cave gossip. Never mind. I walk away. I go to the armor. We walk past the wall and find an open shed, not unlike a stable, with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening stones, pincers, knives, and other tools. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place is to find a way to do so. There are two people here sitting on a long bench. One is male, maybe an inch-long hair, cleanly shaven face, thin, long yellow tunic, bare legs, and sandals. He ignores your presence, suing at Gamison with great concentration. The second person is a boy, maybe 15, who's wearing a crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpen a long dagger. Greetings. The man raises his head. The boy who speaks focuses on his task. He ain't talking. Tell him what it is you need. The man smiles in confirmation, looks at the piece of garment in his hand, then looks around, shrugs, and returns back to raise eyebrow. Maybe not right now, but I may need of your services. He nods, points at the laces in front of the jacket, raises clenched fingers to his shoulders, and gently spreads his lowers them as if he's taking off a robe. You follow his command, allow him to properly inspect your garment. After a few minutes, he gives it back, then reaches in his pals, pulls out dragon bow and shrugs, and then another one waves it in the air, purses his lips, and makes a few speech-like noises, with an empty mouth, groaning, like, I don't know, I consider his offer. Apparently, doesn't seem damaged. Your jacket, okay, it's not damaged. I feel like my game is SKUs adjustments. I don't know, like, this is weird. Oh, I guess it's not really made for me fully. He nods enthusiastically and apologetically points behind him in a small box filled with basic tools. He ain't that experienced, says the assistant, and we do this and that, but only simple things. Hey, pistol, for thanking 13 months. 13. That means technically it's been over 12 months since we got our first partner, or since we got a, not partner, affiliate. Thank you for the continued support after all this time, my dude. You've been a real, staple and enjoyment of this community. Thank you so much. 13 months. Because it prorates it. So like technically this is like a day or two into the 13th month. Yeah, we needed a better dude for like to make it 4 out of 4. Apparently wasn't made for me. Yes, lucky 13. Hey, Gummy. She's in the house somewhere. Don't let her fool you. She can get me at any time. Could you pass my tours if they were cloned? Shakes his head, points at the uneven seams on his own tunic, grabs a crude bone needle. Oh, whoa! Idaho gives sub to. Thank you. No. Yay. Thank you, Night Owl, for your continued support after all these years. Years? Months. We're gonna say years one day. Give it like 3 years. I'll be like, all these years. He said he wouldn't even if he had the tools, the boy says, but you can try Howler Zen or Gale Rock. I don't know where Gale Rock is. Apparently these guys know things that the inn guy doesn't know. Look at the youngster. Learn the trade, I see. Kind of, he answers reluctantly, but his teacher pats his knee, giving him a harsh look. The kid clears his throat. Yes, but we both ain't masters, you see. There's not a soul that can teach us, so once I'm ready, I'll try hunting instead. Fixing things for others is boring. The man grunts a sound, though you can't understand it. Seeing your face, the boy chuckles. He said, safe. Let's meet in the middle. Boring, but safe. Man loud. Alright, so these guys can't do anything for me now. Let's go to the well. Ooh, I washed my shell. Apparently we're shell. Our bodies are shell. You need 3 pieces of bath equipment to get more out of this place. I do have soap. I wash my shell. I feel like I should wash after I sleep though. Right? Because if I sleep, when I sleep, I lose appearance. So I feel like if I use the soap now, then sleep, then it'll go away. So I'm gonna step away for now. Let's enter the inn. And I guess we can't sleep yet. Travel? It's 10 hours before dusk. So we got plenty of time. Let's see if we can go travel. Let's head this direction. The road uphill meanders, showing you down and forcing you to pay close attention to not only the shadows of the trees, but also to the tight, rocky passages. You can't help but notice a few caves and fine ambush spots. Keep an eye out for any signs of life. Oh, we got somewhere. New entry, the Ruined Village. The Ruined Village. Standing in front of the gate, you hear no voices, no tools of work, no steps, dozens of birds live amongst the collapsed roof, their flutters, singing, and squawking is free of worries. If you want to travel any further, you need to ride around the palisade. Searching the ruins may take a lot of time. The broken gate in the north will lead you to a village. Sound of gentle river reaches you from the east, where you see a saggy fence surrounding overgrowth pasture. Beyond the burnt building in the east, you see an oddly barren field. If I approach the field, take a closer look at the gate or move forward. Surround sound digs is a form of torture. Do not want surround sound digs. One day I'll get one of those biannual those like the mics that have their like two people's ears, so I can be like ASMR over here, ASMR over here, and it'll just be in your left and right ear, really throw all of you off and make you uncomfortable. Yeah, that one. Oriole. Oriole. Yeah, we're gonna get some Oriole mics and just Oriole. Surround sound dings is torture. Yes, it is. So what are we doing, boys? Are we approach the building in the near field, take a closer look at the gate, or move forward? What are we doing? I miss my Daisy Duke shorts. We still got to work on a year and a half. So then we got Black Pants. I'm pretty sure me and Alcalane, or Placane, whatever his name is in Legion these days, is I think we discussed putting a belt on it a year and a half and then getting the belt to grow bigger in 2 years, like a wrestling belt. And then we can talk about that after another year goes by. If we survive another year. The gate may hide threats. Good to check. We will move closer. The palisade is in good shape and the entrance wasn't even touched by the fire. It was torn away, possibly thrown. The amount of force used must have been huge, but you expect that it would push the gate into the village, not away from it. You don't see any marks of dragon bite. A troll could toss such planks, but after so many years, you see no paw prints. A mage? You can't really tell. Do I approach the building near the field or move forward?
Pants on too.
Ooh, I just got that on stream. Yep, she needs to put pants on because there's groceries coming.
Well, the groceries are here.
Oh God, no! Don't put. Oh no, I can hear myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching the stream.
Hi everybody, it's Gummy. She brought me water.
No, I came in here to get you water. Looking for
Oh,
your
where
cup.
the cup's somewhere else.
No.
Oh, my cup.
Groceries.
Groceries.
Everybody.
She says hi everybody. I let go just at the right time. Say it again.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Everybody. Hey, Hidden Boss. This game's called Roadwarden. It's a very well written text-based choose your adventure type RPG. Highly recommended if you like reading and you like the kind of Witcher vibe of kind of like a world that everything is just terrible and you want to make it better. Highly suggest picking it up. Like I said, this is one of my games I play on my Steam Deck because it really is just like laying in bed reading a book and then making choices, which is what it really is good for. I realized being sick and then reading it was probably not my best idea. But, the Digsborg craziness, yeah, so Biona couldn't be here today, just in case any of you are missing her cyborg craziness streams is it's her boyfriend's birthday today, so she's gonna spend the day with him, so she wasn't gonna be able to stream. So I was like, you know what, I've been enjoying this game on my own. I want to kind of share it with you guys because that's what I play. When I come on here randomly, I'm usually playing a game I enjoy that I would like to share. And if any of you guys are really into like text-based games that are
redeem hydrate.
Oh, she's redeeming hydrate? Okay, you heard it here, folks. I've been hydrated. All right, groceries are here. All right, boys. All right, so we approaching. What are we doing? Much hydration. Coke related to Diggs? Maybe a distant cousin. I'm not really into drugs unless it's kind of like the THC kind, and only on occasion. I enjoy it to like help fight anxiety, but I'm not always anxious, so it's kind of nice like on times, but that's another discussion. So what are we doing? No one told me. Oh, one? Okay, we're approach the building. The broken logs and planks are charred while the wooden walls are rotten and covered in moss. You see no ash or dust, proving the fire happened long ago. The smell is awful. There are no reasons for it to stay this long. You see no furniture and just some broken shelves. It was just a storage room. The valuable odds and ends were already taken by scavengers. I move forward. Where do we want to go? I explore the southwest part of the village. I inspect the fields in the southwest of the village. Inspect the fields in the southwest, or I inspect the pasture in the southwest. Do you seem to be sleepy? That's better. You know what? I'm in a legal state, so I can literally go to a drive-thru and pick up whatever I like. There are different kinds of THC, and some of them make you energetic and creative, and the other ones make you very tired. So it's a lot to learn there. I'm not willing to learn it myself, but I do know there's major differences in the ones I've used. Southwest Village. We got Southwest Village. We'll go to Southwest Village. All right, so we opened up this area. The buildings, some which have collapsed, are made of wood, now charred and rotten. You spot claw marks on the walls, especially those close to doors and window frames. They could belong to a dragonling or a large wolf, larger than a gray one, or a corpse eater. Too many options to make a guess, yet no beasts remain in sight. You find remains of clothes, furniture, odds and ends. Only one object seems to be useful, a basket-like fish trap made of vines and willow branches. A large swift swims into it. It won't be able to get out on its own. It's quite large, but I can fit it on my saddle. Sweet! Fish trap. Alright, you feel a slight aching in your stomach. Ooh, I'm getting a little hungry. Where do I want to go? We can inspect the palisades in the west, explore the northwest part of the village, go to the main square, explore the southeast part of the village, inspect the fields, or inspect the pastures. Let's see, we got the main square, we got loot, food. We can't just say, hey, where's the food at? Hey, Taizayu, how's it going? It's quite large, but can fit it on my saddle. That's what she said. Hey, oh, ooh. Field, so we got main square and fields. I need a tiebreaker or a third. I don't see loot food. Pasture, if there's carnivore around, it'll be there. Fields then. You're surrounded by what looks like a field plowed in late autumn, disturbed by hundreds of rain and snowfalls. There's few clumps of grass and wheat, but a place like this one, abandoned for years, should already have turned itself to green Leah. A barren field maybe was overused, but you would still expect weeds and sprouts. A curse? A path leading to the west here ends along the ridge of the field, shifting into a meadow then a forest. In the north, you see a path leading around the palisade. I don't have any way to investigate. All right, so we got that. Now where do we go? We can now expect the... Where could we expect? I mean, these are pretty much the same options. I thought they'd be able to go around. Main square, maybe there'll be a market to get food from. Well, this place is a dead market, so we're not sure. The pasture? 2 pastures. Pasture it is. You don't find a single sign. And by the way, anyone saying like anyone doing exploring bottom up, like pastures and fields and stuff before we get in the village, you're my guys, because that's how I work. I want to be like, well, I don't want to go. I'm one of those people who like in a video game will go like, I'm gonna go here and then I was like, oh, I can go up there. Well, I'm gonna check here and here really quick before I go here, because like I gotta figure out everything. I do explore bottom up. Hey, Aloe, how's it going, bud? He might actually be jumping in here in a second for the Wednesday handy. You don't find a single sign of livestock that lived here in the past. Any bones, horns, antlers, or dung have already been devoured by the wilderness. The pasture ends at the river on the opposite end of the bank, and the meadows turn to a thick forest, impenetrable for a rider. What are the chances that a herd of defenseless animals can get there and survive? The breach in the southern fence wasn't made by some brute force. You find an axe cuts in the spot that were ultimately broken away. After all these years, there's no tracks that you can follow. I returned to the main road. The Wednesday Handy. It's when all the streamers from Wednesday, they're the only streamers that do it, but the Wednesday streamers enter at the end of a stream and handy off the stream to the next person. You're new here, you might not know that, but if you notice that like at the end of Bionic stream, sometimes Aloe shows up. At the end of Aloe's stream, AK shows up. Oh my god, I'm not even in the studio. I'm the baddie. I was here the whole time and no one could prove otherwise, except that I said it on stream.
Of course you were, Diggs.
Hey, hello. Are you also a road warden? Did I run into another road warden?
I have never heard of Roadwarden, but yeah, sure, I'll be one. Is it?
All right.
What's the pay?
Whatever you can get out of people.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, that'll be it for me, guys. This was Roadwarden, a game, like I said, it's a hugely text-based adventure. It's kind of like a choose your own, it's like a choose your own narrative type of game. It's one of the better ones I've ever played. It is very wordy, as you've been noticed. So if for people who enjoy reading or like deep, rich lore with a lot of information and figuring out stuff, it's a solid game. Like I said, I play it in bed, usually at night before I go to bed, and just play it on my Steam Deck. But if you're into these type of games, this is one of the best. And on that, Aloe, what are you playing today?
I'm going to be continuing along with Phantom Brigade.
Ooh, the cool robot See the Future game.
Yeah, see the future robots. Exactly.
Hey,
5 seconds at a time.
I would take 5 seconds to no seconds.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, anyways, thanks everyone for coming out and checking out Roadwarden with me. Coming up next, Phantom Brigade with Aloe. Aloe! How was your day?
Hey, dogs. My day's a lot better now that you're here. But
good thing I'm leaving.
It was good. It was great. And my totally real girlfriend just filled me up with fantastic Italian food, and hopefully I don't enter a food coma at the beginning of my stream. Unless you guys really want to hear the dulcet tones of me snoring into your faces.
I've been in a room when he's been on voice with voice activation and him sleeping. It's very nice.
Yeah, very ASMR. It's just like you're sleeping right next to me.
Everyone, thanks for coming out. Stay tuned. I expect all 52 of you to be hanging out for some Phantom Brigade and plus more. Hey, Confused One, good to see you. It's playing on, well, since it's strictly a mouse game and there's no real key commands, it's super good for the Steam Deck. You just tap the screen. So very good for Stream Deck. Even if it doesn't say that it might be Stream Deck compatible, it is. But have a good one, everybody, and stay tuned for Aloe.